Hello, everyone. This is Elias5891 here with the EFM Semifinals of KTANE League Fall 2020. I am joined today in the commentary booth with Mr. Rock Dude and Mr. River.
Good to be back again.
Yep, short order for you to bounce back this quickly, Rock. Apologies for that.
I only took a nap. It's fine.
All right.
I know that feeling about taking naps.
I have a son. I don't.
Naps are forbidden in the Elias house. Baby Panda will not allow it.
Nope. All right. Well, this is as we said, this is the EFM semifinals. The 3 of the 4 members of our winning team stay crazy. Actually, Espic, Caleb, and Procyon. 3 bombs, 1 each advantage-wise. Yeah, I mean, I think everybody back here probably knows the rules and the format by now.
Main things to be going over would be, since we do have 3 lovely competitors for today's event, all going to be going more or less at the same time. For each of these bombs, we have the standard rules of ties and things like that. Nothing new from the last time that we went over that. Some of the more notable vetoes that we unfortunately will not be seeing on some of these bombs. I would have been very interested to see things like HexOS, Not, and I believe Turtle Robot. Not specifically because I know the game that it's based off of, and boy howdy, can it be confusing sometimes. But other than that, we are still set to have a pretty solid combination of some of these modules. And I'm very interested to see who can get through all of these. It's off of a game called Not. Yeah, the game is legitimately just called Not, and it's the way that the module functions is very similar to the base game. I wanted to learn it myself, but I don't have the patience to memorize it quite yet. If River has anything to say before we get started, feel free. I don't want to eat up too much of the airtime here.
All right, well, let's just get straight into the first one. This is Espic's Advantage Bomb. And we'll be listening to his audio for this one. So, audio.
Caleb's timer is missing.
Yes. Actually, before we get started, let me explain this because somebody's going to ask a question, and I need to explain it. So Caleb, poor Caleb, did not activate Bomb HUD on his first bomb, which means that he didn't have a HUD for me to display. I went back through his video, launched a bomb of my own, and mirrored his solves, explosions. I mirrored it as best as I could. It's not exact, but it's pretty dang close.
I can see that it's not the same because there's a 15 there.
Well,
I can just only imagine you having the video of his up and then KTANE and just watching the video, just waiting to see him strike.
I did the best I could. So I'll talk about that more at the end because I mean it's part of the rules that you have the HUD. But let's just dive into this.
Yeah.
They were all sinking on the serial number there.
Everybody has their methods to go through going through these bombs, and luckily for us, at least with it being the EFM, there might not be as much talking from the actual players themselves on this one, since it's just themselves for the EFM. For those that don't already know how this functions, essentially they're just looking at the manual and the bomb themselves, and going through it has both perspectives for the expert. which leads to some very interesting things, because while it takes less time to relay the information, it's entirely on you to still get it correct.
Oh, it must feel really nice to do Game of Life interactive.
Interactively with yourself, yes.
As opposed to needing to figure out how to translate it between diffuser and expert.
Yeah. I feel like with Game of Life specifically, the best part is you have access to the interactive manual, which makes solving Game of Life that much easier, since you can actually differentiate between what's the word I'm looking for? The dead states and so on, and like what is coming in the next generation.
Can we get the audio icon on SMIC's screen?
Nice little solve tune from synchronization on SPIC. Got Caleb going to the bartending. And Procyon with the solve on bartending.
And bartending is your module, correct, Rock Dude?
That is correct.
I will admit it's been a while since I've looked at the manual. Not sure I've seen the most recent. I assume with the coloring on some of the terms I've heard, it's based off the game Valhalla.
Yes. Very nice little visual novel. I liked it so much that I made my first module on it. Unfortunately, it's very hard to make. When I was going through it, I decided to just do the actual little drink making mini game. Tempted to try and have some sort of vocal aspect to it, but when I was coming up with the manual, that proved very difficult. Ooh, and we do have a strike on SPIX currently. He's one strike up, but he does have the lead still. Wonder if he'll still be able to maintain that and set the bar for everybody else.
Yeah, X-ray is a module that takes me a really long time to try to visualize.
With the recent...
I know.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Elias. You were talking before I did.
I was going to say, with the recent, well, relatively recent changes to it, where it no longer shows symbols on the buttons, I found it considerably harder than it was.
Mm.
Yeah. I do know that when I was actually first learning X-ray, there was, I believe, a website or a flash game that Timmy had showed us, and it's what it was based off of, if I recall correctly. It helped me kind of nail some of those down, because it used very familiar things, such as the alphabet, to help try and familiarize you with the concept. It's been a very long time since I've had to do that, so I'm extremely rusty on it. Definitely helped when I was learning it. Be curious if anybody else used that same method.
Speaking of bartending, so is to my understanding that you need to be able to see the colors in order to solve it?
Yes, that actually kind of came up last time when we were talking, I believe, with Biggie. Well, we weren't talking with Biggie,
I'm pretty sure that I was also commenting.
Yeah, the suggestion got thrown around to add colorblind support. I do plan on looking into that, or if somebody would like to beat me to it, take a pull request for adding colorblind support, because I am very sorry to anybody that has colorblind issues that has done bartending, especially if I had kept the original colors, because two of the colors would have been actually very similar, even for those without colorblind disabilities. Been very unfortunate on that one. Now I'm kind of hurt a little bit when I was told that I was very
What did you say?
It was to see that somebody had struggled when others didn't exactly have that same kind of handicap in terms of that, with it especially being my module. kind of hurt me on
Okay.
that. To see that something I made caused that.
Yeah, I was
More about
basically
the-
just asking because I was gonna look into it at some point. I wanted to know what you wanted it to look like.
I'm open to suggestions on it. Most likely just a letter somewhere near the screens or under them. I'd be willing to like maybe make the screens a little bit shorter to have room on the bottom, like that. But that's something we can discuss on the back end. How about that? Let's talk about the bombs, the stuff in front of us.
I will notice that Caleb got his first strike on that X-ray.
Huh? They both got a
X-ray
strike on
is just
X-ray.
yeah, X-ray is just dropping people today.
Yeah, and then Espic finishing up the Only Connect. Somebody did bring this up in a previous stream. Only Connect is one of those modules where even if the initial state's the same, because it does some generation mid-bomb, the second round where you have the little mini connecting wall does vary. All three of the players got different ones, none of which were particularly easy based on how long they spent on them. But it is worth noting that that is sort of a desync in the module similarities.
I could see how that could maybe lead to something, because maybe you get 3 very distinct ones, maybe you get 3 very similar ones.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And
Ooh, did somebody double click?
Well, Caleb is watching, and I'm sure he can say his bet. But yeah, two relatively quick strikes.
I didn't even see it. I didn't see what happened to him.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd only known that he had the 1 strike. It looked like he had double clicked by accident.
Yeah. Oh, they're in chat.
Ooh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, so 2 strikes there is an early detonation. 4 solves on the bomb, which is going to lock him in at 3rd place on this first bomb.
Now, just to see if Espic finishes the bomb and sets a bar, if Procyon can meet it. Procyon. I don't actually know the proper pronunciation of that. If somebody could inform me, because I hate to get it wrong.
You know, I'm not 100% confident myself. I've always said Procyon.
Procyon. Okay.
But I don't know that that's correct.
Espic agrees
Well,
with
Espic
you.
says, yeah, Espic says Procyon, and that's what I'm going with until I'm otherwise corrected now.
I like it.
They do seem to be closing the gap in terms of solves, only being 2 behind. So, they're looking real hard at this Roman art.
Yeah, 2 solves. About 1:30 desync right now on the clocks, though. So
very close.
Yeah, in terms of the randomization being different, like, I'm pretty sure that investigating the randomization issues is most of what I do in the league.
I mean, somebody's got to do it, and it's led to some. It seems like it led to some tough calls from you guys, especially with things like, not to point out my own team, but with Risky Wires, I believe it was determined to switch that one out, which I understand, no hard feelings. But due to the generation with Gamble Button, I know that it had to be swapped out.
yeah, there's been a handful of modules that we tried to catch them all at the beginning, but between Team and EFM, I think there was 178 unique modules chosen. And
yeah,
you know, sometimes something. Oh, that was a strike sound.
Second strike to Espic with the Roman art. Oh no.
Dear.
And he's, yep, if I was in his boots, oh, I thought he was gonna move to something else for a little bit. I know I'd need a new, something new to feast on for a second.
Okay, let's just pulled up a notepad saying, well, it's over.
I love how you can tell that Caleb probably isn't actually tabbed into the game right now. Maybe He's in full screen mode, considering it hasn't fully typed out the world's largest button yet. I'm still working through this X-ray. He going to fall victim to it as well is the real question. Less than a minute for Espic.
Yeah.
Module to go. Not looking good.
He's got
And
this.
Procyon did not get a strike on X-ray like the other two.
Yep, which ties them up at 9 modules each. I do not know when Espic got his 9th solve. But let's see. Oh, no, he pulls Roman art out.
Oh, nice.
That doesn't matter.
Ooh. He might be able to still get it in time.
Nah, he hasn't any time looking at
it
that.
looks like he's... Yeah, no.
Not a chance.
Fate accepted. That's what that was.
Well, that makes 10 solves for Espic, with that last solve coming in the last 20-ish seconds. So that's kind of the goalpost for Procyon to aim for with this Roman art, or the I think it's the world's biggest button is the other one he hasn't solved.
Yep. So
now we get to appreciate some art.
it's a different module though. Still appreciating the art though.
It's the special version of art appreciation where it picks a random module on the bomb for you to need to look at.
It's fine. It's cruel art appreciation. There we go. Art appreciation with extra steps.
I mean, it's the main feature of art appreciation, where sometimes it'll pick a random module for you to zoom into.
Didn't actually know that. What are the
Oh, yeah,
chances on that? Because I don't think it's very high, is it?
It was a recent addition within like maybe the last 2 months. It was the last major update for art appreciation.
Yeah, I remember because I saw the update and I had seen that it said something along the lines of, if there's no art to appreciate, look somewhere else to appreciate the art.
Yeah, it means another module on the bomb.
Yep. I see Procyon took a strike there on Roman art and kind of bailed out, it looks like.
It seems like
Yep.
that was a common place to get strikes on. I wonder if like the first instance of that, the first answer to that module was bugged or something? Or
Oh.
is it just that hard?
Don't think Espic struck on the Roman art though. I don't recall them striking on it.
Did Espic not strike on Roman art?
That I saw, no. I want to say Espic had.
Caleb in chat is saying yes. Or a Y, one or the other.
I think he said why before I asked that question.
I want to say Espic's main strikes were X-ray and then Roman art, maybe once or twice. Wait, no. Espic ran out of time. What am I saying?
Yeah, he says that X-ray was his first strike, or that Roman was his second strike.
Yeah,
that's what I thought. So yeah, they both stroke on. I don't even know if Caleb got the Roman art.
I don't believe so. So there we go. A difficult first bomb. None of our competitors finishing this one.
If I recall correctly, though, I believe Procyon had the earlier solve between Espic and.
But Procyon only hit 9.
Espic had more solves.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. That last second one right at the end. Forgot about that. So then
the placements for the first bomb are pretty clear.
Espic, Procyon, and Caleb by the sound of it then. respectively
Indeed.
for first, second,
Yep.
and third.
Yep. Espic will take first, 1 point. Procyon will take second for 2. Caleb will take third place for 3. And the whole issue about the non-bomb HUD becomes immaterial. Thank goodness. Because I did not want to have
Only
to
had to
make a
do it
ruling on
once.
that. I really didn't want to have to rule one way or the other on that. I mean, you hate
Would have
to
been very
DQ someone. You hate to DQ someone in the semis for
something very small like that. Yeah.
Yep.
Make it all this way just to be told no at the door. That would have been very, very sad
It
to
is
see.
appreciated that you imitated the solves for.
I guess I do like to have some consistency on the screen, so having someone
Yeah.
just flat out not have a HUD just didn't feel right. Well, there's our first bomb. Espic has a bit of a lead, but that was Espic's advantage bomb. So we'll see if he's able to continue that streak when the bombs favor the others.
All was in his court, you could say. Let's see what happens when he doesn't have possession for a second.
Indeed. So we will jump right into bomb number 2. For this one, we will be listening to Caleb, as this is his advantage bomb. And again, there'll be a little desync. It's surprisingly difficult to sync more than 2 people up at the same time.
Understandable. But you did your best. And
Yeah.
even then, it is pretty good. It's very close.
Close enough. All right, well, let's dive into the second bomb.
Waiting for Caleb to load in for a second.
Yep, and as a side note, this is live time how long it took Caleb's bomb to load.
Know that
Somebody
feeling.
start the timer.
So there it
There
is.
it is. Immediately I see that kanji and I have flashbacks from when I was first learning it.
Now we'll
This
apologize.
is also the week when kanji actually.
Indeed. Now I will apologize. Caleb's, you'll see, has a slightly blurry HUD. Both Caleb and Espic have their videos on YouTube. I'm sure they'll probably will public them after this. But they show all their experting stuff. So unlike Procyon, where the bomb is that's all you're getting in a huge capture, their captures are like a quarter of a screen or so. So when we blow it up, sometimes it gets a little blurry.
I'll keep that
Smaller
in mind
resolution.
if I do EFM in the future.
Caleb with the kanji solve.
Is that a new
Taking the
sub or has it
lead.
always been like that?
I believe it has always had that sound to my knowledge. It had it when I was first
Okay.
learning it a long time ago. And bartending makes its return, which makes me happy.
Oh yeah, I was asking
The
about
animation?
the animation.
Ah. Yeah, the animation's probably new. I know it's always had the sound.
Yeah, because another module just kind of. Oh, and it's X-ray again.
Ooh, a fringe reaver too, I think. No, not a fringe reaver. That would just be the red and the white if it was. Another blue fairy, but 2 drinks. Very easy second drink though. You pray for those bottle drinks sometimes. Elias just isn't. Ooh, I believe Elias just isn't actually talking too much for this. Focused a lot more on keeping the audio correct on this one.
And he's also working.
There's that as well. He's out here multitasking. It's fine. Caleb onto the second phase of Only Connect.
Oh, did
It's not
Espic already
too-
solve Cruel Master?
I did not see. It does look like it since he's working on something else, though. Either he took a break. Procyon with the pie solve. One thing to note is I was actually looking at the manual earlier when we were working on that spreadsheet. Pi is spelled with an E on the repository, as I found out. Did not know that.
Is the
I always
manual
thought-
not?
I know the entry on like the hyperlink to get to the manual spelled with an E.
Yeah, I think that's right.
I just thought the actual like math character was only PI. So,
It is. I think that's supposed to be a joke.
fair enough. Then consider me whooshed. Spic holding a nice lead on most, if not most,
Input
apparently on all of
received.
the bombs.
This is a module I've always wanted to try. Light speed.
I think I've tried it once or twice. It definitely is fun to do, but just like some of other Royals modules, sometimes there's just a lot to read out. I believe the
Yeah,
first time I
and-
did it, I
Input
think
received.
I thought there was only like one of each color that you needed to read out for the planets. Nope, there's more than one. That threw me a loop.
Yeah, I also really like the aesthetics of
Input
these
received.
modules. This one looks really nice.
Oh yeah. Custom
I
text,
wish I could
graphics.
design modules like.
It's a very unique idea.
Kind of enjoy one of the rare moments when all three of our runners are working on this same module.
At least until Espic ditched it.
Input received.
Yeah, well. I will
Yeah,
take my
really.
fleeting moments of synchronicity.
Yeah. Lets you see exactly how fast one maybe does something faster than the other.
Oh,
Procyon, calm down.
Procyon being like, I should break the law in order to make this stream on time.
Chaser moment. It really is a chaser moment. Now, I'm not familiar with Schlagged and Bomb because I know our team, I believe, vetoed it if it was on a team bomb. Because I don't think we really wanted to. If that's a module that you're familiar with, or if somebody would like to take a chance to explain it, I'd be down to maybe hear a brief synopsis about it. Since I see that's what Caleb's working on.
Definitely not played this module. I don't
mean,
know what it
the only-
is at all.
I think the
Um,
main thing that I know about it is that it's a reference to a game show, I believe.
Yes.
German game show?
Yeah, Schlagden. I don't remember the name. Schlagden Sob?
Oh,
Maybe?
strike.
Ooh.
Rock dude, he got a strike on your module.
Strike trying to submit that failed drink, actually, by the looks of it. And hadn't
That-
noticed that it was a failed drink.
Oh, he got 2 strikes on part 2.
Right there.
Oh, I didn't even see that it was 2 strikes. What?
I didn't see it either.
It's actually been a minute because he's lost quite a bit of time on it. Slagden Rob is what Espic says the game show's name.
Yes.
Oh, I like Kanji's solve animation.
Yeah, Schlog's kind of like splitting the loot actually, in that you've got to combine certain numbers to get them to equal the totals on the bomb, while following certain restrictions on who is allowed or not allowed to win certain bombs or certain numbers.
Hmm. I have to take a look at that module. It sounds pretty interesting. Espic having other drinks to have to make now due to those strikes from earlier. Wonder what drink he gets now. And whether or not he can actually maintain that lead. The drink that Espic is currently making is a fluffy dream, if I recall correctly. I really wish I'd written down the names of the drinks alongside the images themselves. I feel like that would have helped with a little bit of verification in terms of what drink you're actually making, so that the expert could describe it to ensure that you have the right one.
He put the drink in the wrong slot.
Ooh. It must have been a situation where it wrapped around the table then, because it's the main time that I've seen that happen when people explain strikes on bartending. I mean, being able to solo it, I guess solo is a relative term when it comes to EFM, but still being able to do it relatively quickly is still a feat in and of itself.
It's interesting that you mentioned that, Procyon, because Espic went through Cruel Mastermind so quickly, and Caleb didn't take that long on it either.
See that there's another Roman art on there. Wonder if we're gonna see it take any more strikes.
Take any more lives.
I mean, it's already got I think it's got a body count of 3, technically 4 right now.
There's that solvent. Whatever that module's called.
Schlagden bomb solve for Espic, bringing him up to 9 solves.
Yep, we got Espic with 9, Caleb at an impressive 8 with a 2-minute advantage. Procyon sitting at 5, although it looks like he may have a Cruel Mastermind pretty much ready to go.
Yeah, he's worked through.
They've worked.
Yeah. Oh no, I see in chat he's saying he just decided to move away from it for a bit. Sometimes you gotta do that. Get out of that mindset.
I've always been a fan of Cruel Mastermind.
Caleb, they just want you to get Cyberpunk 2077. What's not to understand? Even though he can't actually hear me right now, that's fine.
There's a solve on X-ray. Didn't seem like that struck anyone out this time.
And it seems like they were extra careful on maybe the X-ray and Roman art for this now.
I'm guessing that Espic is not going to solve on Minari. Because it seems like it's a long module.
Well, it is the last module for Espic, but is he going to be able to get it in within the minute? Well, less than a minute, actually.
Have you played Synchronization before?
I have. It can be very difficult to tell exactly which speed is which sometimes, because they are fairly similar.
I see. I haven't played it before, but I think that it's one of Sam's modules.
Some of the rules, it's mainly pressing them correctly.
Wait, he got the stall?
Ooh, with the 28 seconds remaining, so technically the bar is set right now.
Did he? Okay.
Oh, was it a YOLO? Nice! I love it.
Whatever will get you an extra, whatever will secure your first place.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's like that. I think one of my crown moments in casual play, at least, was guessing a forget-me-not number correctly. I think that was the best thing that I've ever had.
Uh-oh, Procyon also got a strike on your bump module.
Yeah, that strike on bartending wasn't a double strike. but strike nonetheless. Gonna eat a little bit more time.
Yeah, and then Caleb working on that Roman art. If he can get it in the next 2 minutes, then that'll put him ahead of Espic.
Oh, Procyon did the same thing that Espic did.
The chaser rule will get you, especially if it wraps around the table.
This is the reason why we need. This is the reason why we need synced seeds,
Indeed.
so that we can see everyone get a strike on the same problem. Huh.
Oh, yeah. I suppose I could maybe have a note somewhere saying it starts in slot 1. And again, if you press slot 1, it doesn't do anything to my knowledge. Oh well. Information for me for later.
I mean, a fair number of modules have had tweaks or comments or revitalizations thanks to League, so never hurts to get another one. Ooh, there's
I ended up
Procyon.
making a widget that nobody uses because of the League.
Oh yes, the time date widget.
Yeah.
And Caleb is
Nice
Caleb
solve,
with the
Caleb.
solve.
Did Caleb get first place above Espic here?
It does look like
did.
Caleb did do it faster, so it looks like it will be Caleb, then Espic, and then Procyon for the second bombs here.
And Procyon gave up.
Went
Yep,
for
went
the
for
YOLO,
YOLO
didn't
of his
seem like it
own.
worked. Went for the YOLO, didn't seem like it worked out for this one.
Oh,
Yeah, couldn't get to the bartending of the Roman.
so that's gonna move our standings like so.
BTW, what happens at 666?
So we have a nice screen on the background. I'm gonna throw up the last
Whose
second or
audio are
two.
we going to be using for this?
For the third one, we will be using Caleb again, and let's talk about these standings real quick because that'll explain why pretty well. So after the first two bombs, we have Espic with a first and a second place finish with 3 points. Caleb with a first and a third has 4 points, and Procyon with a second and a third has 5 points. So we need to talk about tiebreaker rules for a moment.
Yes.
Because, as Procyon mentions, what happens if it goes Procyon, Caleb, Espic in the next one?
Yes.
In that case, they would all tie at 6 points.
Just everybody gets a
Now,
or everybody moves on. There we go.
if we happen, now that is the only chance that Espic can fall down. That's the only way he can be caught by Procyon, is if Procyon takes first, Espic takes third, which would give Caleb second by default.
Yep.
In the case, and I'm going to read directly from the document with the rules because we wanted to make sure that what was going to happen was clear from the get-go, so there are no questions about fairness. So we look at team scores, which would be tied in this case. We would remove any untied teams and then rank them head-to-head again. Still would be consistent. The third tiebreaker is the total number of solved modules across all 3 bombs. So Espic has solved 21 modules. Caleb has solved 15, and Procyon has solved 18. So right now, Espic would have to falter pretty heavily on the last bomb to lose on that tiebreaker, I think. For Caleb to catch, Caleb is 15, Espic has 21. Caleb would need to solve 6 more modules than Espic did. Should we have a tie there, it then goes to total time across all 3 bombs, with fails counting as 15 minutes plus 1 minute per unsolved module. And let me tell you, there are certain tiebreakers that are not fun to calculate. and that would be an example of one.
Well, hopefully
now,
it doesn't quite come to that. I do hope we have a clear winner, but ties are always a little bit interesting to sort through.
Yep. Now, a slightly more possible case is what if Espic doesn't get third, but Caleb and Procyon tie? So Procyon gets first, Caleb gets second, or Procyon second, Caleb third. Yeah, that would be a tie. If it is a tie between two of them, essentially we look at the three bombs as if they were just head-to-head between the two tied players. So in that case, Procyon won the first one, Caleb won the second one. So if Caleb and Procyon tied and Espic did not tie with them, Procyon would have to have a better third bomb than Caleb to get into that tie position. So that would result in a Procyon win. So Caleb needs to pull either first place, second place with Procyon taking third, or some really fun shenanigans with Espic exploding early. Procyon is looking essentially to beat Caleb, preferably, and Espic.
I mean,
but
first place is always the goal.
Yeah, there's a lot of possibilities that could happen here, and it's exciting when it comes down to this. Now,
Things
my
like
wife
this is. Sorry, go ahead.
It's what I live for.
Yeah. Definitely is a lot more interesting to see things like this because especially if you start hitting a lot of ties, I mean, it does lead to a few more difficult calculations in determining who is the winner. But
Indeed.
At the same time, that also means that you had a very good matchup of people in these final rounds here.
We certainly did. I can see all three of them kind of talking in chat. Procyon and Caleb both sound a little bit worried. Neither of them implying that they thought it was going to be this close. Now, my wife suggested I should end the stream here for the day and just come back to it tomorrow. But I think that would be a horrible thing to do.
That would be so evil.
And as much fun as I would get out of that being a jerk, I think it would be more fun to actually see who wins. Now, I will state, what's that? Procyon? An Expo bomb with Vinso. Vinso didn't even submit bombs. No. If you all want to talk to me after league and set something up for fun, then yes. But it's not. We're not gonna have a formal one like we do for the teams. Did I say Vinso? Vinco. Vinco?
Vinco? Question mark?
I don't know. It's letters. It's not a name I'm familiar with.
It is an arrangement of letters to form a word. Yes.
Hi, Abba guy. Now I will state
the study of Vince,
and hopefully this might be something Procyon's hoping for. Espic won Espic's bomb. Caleb won Caleb's bomb. So will Procyon win Procyon's bomb?
Complete the cycle. Yeah.
All right, let's get this third bomb pulled up.
I almost wish I had a drink for this, but I'd only have water. Water isn't enough. Even though hydration is important.
Yep. And like I say, we will be listening to Caleb because Procyon does not have audio on his bombs. So that's your team's ping. I hope I have my work open. I do have my work open as well, so I think that it probably is mine. All right. Last bomb. This one will decide things. Who will make it to the finals and who is on their last bomb?
Indeed.
Am I not a mod here?
Oh my. A live viewing of a spammer in here.
Huh.
Oh,
Spam
bot in the chat. Ooh, one that I don't think we've seen in the league quite yet. If we have, I haven't seen it. Loop over, a very straightforward module, but it has ways of being efficiently done for those that are willing to find them. And countdown, ooh, a lot of ones that we haven't seen on stream quite yet.
Yeah. I know Cruel Countdown is Procyon's. I'm not sure who has Loop Over off the top of my head.
I'll take a look at the sheet real quick. That would be Procyon. Procyon has his loop over.
And went through it pretty efficiently.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, with how fast that they went through it, that should have been our indication that it was theirs.
Fair. One thing Procyon said last night was a lot of his strength was the modules he knows he's fast at. So,
Correct.
definitely seeing that there.
Looks like we've already got the countdown solve from Espic. Two
Very
solves from Caleb. I didn't see which ones they were.
Did they all solve tax returns yet?
Oh no. I feel
think
very confident saying nobody's hit that yet.
How much
Yeah.
time does it take to solve before tax return strikes you?
I believe it's somewhere between 7 minutes, 15. Oh, so
So
they
you
have
can-
the entire bomb
Yep.
Okay.
calculated, planned from the beginning, even if tax returns wasn't going to be on the bomb.
Yeah, so they can just not do it.
Yep.
Until they want to solve it.
Yeah. I mean, I do believe that. I mean, I haven't solved it as an expert before, but I know there's a fair amount of calculation to do.
There is a lot of calculation. It would destroy Elias.
Yeah. So that there's quite a few more. There's a little bit of incentive to still do it earlier because of the amount of calculation. But given the individuals that we have in this, feel like that's the least of their concerns in comparison to some of these other ones.
Procyon being
just
concerned that Espic isn't going fast enough. Caleb.
You can just only imagine that Espic's like, I'm trying.
Not the answer, I'm afraid.
He's even saying that. Oh,
No,
you're fine,
no.
Procyon. Caleb got a strike.
Get the strike on Pi, but it looked like it still solved anyway. What was with that?
It looked like maybe a misclick because it looked like he had the answer and he just kind of maybe hit the button a little early.
Yeah.
Procyon's reaction
maybe-
is interesting.
It's either that or because I believe since you can only press them once before it's solved and considered itself good to go, yeah, probably I'd say a misclick would be likely in that small window. Yeah.
Oh, huh. That's unfortunate. Makes sense, but unfortunate.
Yeah. Things like that are actually why I have the little snippet where if it's solved, it just ignores the input to completely
Most
avoid
modules
things
do
like
have that, but there are a few people who design their modules with striking people for interacting at wrong times in mind.
Yeah. I mean, it usually isn't something that the manual has to exactly prepare for, so, because who's going to interact with the module after it's been solved? Surprisingly, a lot of people, sometimes unintentionally. I
Indeed.
think my favorite one is piano keys, because you can still mess around with the keys afterwards.
That's nice of text field.
Yep.
Alright, so we've got Espic at 5, we've got Caleb at 5, but with a strike. We've got Procyon at 7. I do see Caleb, as he was working through the tennis, it looked like he was almost kind of doing it. I've seen people EFM it and basically just do it on the bomb as they're going through the letters. So, I don't know if that's what he's doing or not.
With it being based on a binary calculation, I believe, if I remember Timu's explanation of it to me once a very long time ago, I believe it'd probably be easier to just keep the information on the bomb versus trying to
Oh
write
man,
all of
that's
it
a
down.
12.
I mean, there's also the element you can kind of stumble into the answer because it solves as soon as you find it. So
Yep.
if you're pretty sure you know the sets and you're just not sure about the score, you can kind of spam through them pretty quick and hit that solve, which maybe that's what Caleb was doing as well. I don't know.
Who just got a
Not in his
strike?
head. That was a strike on Espic, it looks like. I see he is now holding one as well. I didn't see which module that was on.
Okay. You got a
Looks like
strike
it
on
might have been
resistors?
the. Yeah, I'd imagine it was probably resistors since that's what he was looking at.
Procyon back to freaking out again.
Panic! Panic! Panic!
You know the setup is good when people are panicking.
Ooh, not missing the 0. Easy sometimes.
Yep, and those resistors very similar, so
Can't
Looks
count
like
on.
Procyon's getting his calculator out.
I know for myself that I wouldn't be able to count the number of times that I've had to confirm information, be it because I read it wrong, or maybe I said the wrong thing, or maybe they heard the wrong thing. I know there's multiple times, well over 10, that I've had to confirm information like that.
this is why I don't usually do this without a lot of pre-bomb prep. Yeah, the players were not allowed to do much in the way of predetermining things, pre-building, no notepads with any formulas on it ahead of time or anything like that. Which
What module does Procyon have remaining outside of tax returns?
it looks like Cruel Mastermind in the bottom left corner of the screen.
Okay.
Which, knowing what he said last bomb, yeah, makes sense.
Okay, Espic is on tax returns.
I could see why Espic's panicking right now. Especially
no,
with Espic already
Procyon
being.
is.
Sorry, yeah,
Procyon
Espic.
is-
Yeah.
I swear I have these names straight, I swear.
At this point, Espic is actually safe. He solved enough that even in that one tiebreaker where he's at the bottom, he's got enough solves to make it through. So
it really comes down to Caleb's performance.
Yeah, little bit of a question on if he king makes, if he unintentionally king makes, or if it comes down to
Strike on tax returns and immediately going to the mastermind.
That is one strike for everyone. We got Caleb at 5 minutes, Espic about 40 seconds above that, Proc at about 40 seconds above that.
Caleb does have the least amount of bomb time.
Yes.
Input received.
That early strike affected him.
For quite a bit longer, yes.
And the early strike is really starting to show its difference here.
Caleb, nice enough to show us off the detail of the numbers in tax return here.
Caleb?
Or, sorry, Espic. Yes. We gotta get in nice and tight, make sure we really appreciate
Input received.
the font choices there.
Nice and crisp.
I think he's actually reading the ticket because its information is incredibly tiny.
This is
Input
very
received.
true. This is very true.
We have lost visuals on the stream. I'm not on the stream, but in the Discord.
In the Discord stream, specifically. Now. Oh, there it is.
Thank you.
Sorry, got a team message, but I pulled my window away.
Like Caleb is going for the light speed solve after he gets the encrypted data going.
Input received.
Procyon is on tax returns.
And there's the stall for Espic.
Procyon
setting
actually
the...
has a chance of getting first here.
Mm-hmm.
Espic has set the bar at 3 minutes and 55 seconds.
If Procyon can take this, and it looks like
There it
There's
is.
it
Espic.
does.
Let's see if Procyon. Oh,
That's going to do it.
alright, so Espic has probably totally gotten first now.
Yeah. So we'll just
What
go
is
ahead.
Procyon doing? Okay.
Speed it
Wait,
up
what's
a
going
little
on with
bit.
Procyon?
Yeah, we're gonna speed up
Procyon-
Caleb's here just a smidgen.
Procyon's already done. Procyon's
Okay.
have solved the bomb. I believe taking first in this situation. Then Espic being second. And unfortunately, it's looking like Caleb is going to have to get third for this one.
You picked right, Procyon. It was Countdown.
And there we go.
Are we going to be doing interviews? Or no, that's next week.
That would be next week. So as you can see there, yeah, Caleb not quite. Did he get the countdown before time? No.
No, Countdown was dead.
So 9 solves, which is not bad at all. I mean,
Yeah.
all of these bombs are ridiculous.
Yeah, they look
Yeah.
terrifying.
Considering the pools that each person brought to the table, it was quite the spicy mix to be able to bring those together, and to be able to get through even most of the bomb, way better than I know that I would be able to. So congratulations to anybody that's made it this far.
Indeed. But this does decide it. With 5 points, Espic will move on. With 6 points, Procyon will move on. With 7 points, just missing out. Caleb, unfortunately, is done with his season at this point on EFM. Everybody got, as Jasper said, yes, everybody got first on their own bomb, which is always a treat. Procyon cut it a little close. Espic cut it a little close. But
Definitely a really close bomb between Espic and Procyon on this one. Only 20 seconds apart in terms of essentially the deciding factor.
which, if Espic had taken this one, Procyon would have been tied at 7. He still would have bumped Caleb out on the tiebreaker of head-to-heads. But it was close. It was a good bomb. They were all good bombs. Yeah. Well,
Exactly, Jasper.
I've enjoyed seeing this. I've enjoyed watching these three go head to head, especially knowing that they're on the same team. You know, they've had some banter back and forth. Having that sort of connection as being both rivals and companions in different ways. So, but this leads to the banter has already started. I imagine so. But this will lead us to an Espic versus Procyon final next week. That will be very exciting to watch to see if Procyon can. He is a little behind Espic on this one today on 2 of the 3 bombs, but did win one of them. We'll see how that neutral bomb comes into play.
I see Caleb has moved up into the league talk.
Yeah, actually, since this is let's pull Caleb down and see if he has something he wants to say since this is his last bomb here in EFM.
All right.
Hello,
Welcome
Caleb.
to the chat.
Yeah. I can't explain anything for that first bomb. That was definitely not at all what I anticipated, and not even remotely the run that I wanted to be at. So, but oh well.
I mean, still, like I said earlier, to be able to make it this far, you had some tough competition. I mean, some of those module lists, they terrify me. I have nightmares.
Yeah. I had to really work on a lot of stuff in order to even remotely be at the level that I was at, but I just didn't get the opportunity to show that off on the first bomb, and then the third bomb just had countdown and tax, which I knew I wouldn't have had enough time. But I really can't complain because I definitely had a very successful second bomb. I'm very proud of that second bomb. That was very clean on my end, and I think the biggest improvement that I've had all season is being able to actually do 10-button color code interactively. So
Very
really
nice.
can't complain with that.
Did you?
I
Did you
mean-
definitely? Good.
I was just gonna ask the same question that I actually asked the teams. Out of all of the bombs that you've done throughout the league, in the EFM side, which one do you think was the hardest one, or the hardest opponent that you had to go against?
Definitely these bombs definitely tested me to every single extent of my ability. Most of these modules I'm actually not very comfortable with in general. Like resistors, I'm all right with. I've never really had any problems with it, but like I don't do it often enough to be speedy at it. And cruel countdown is just the death of me because like I'm up against a person who does math 10 times better than me. I'm up against the person who does stores in like 4 minutes. So
Cool.
already the odds were kind of against me, but I still tried and keep going. So
Really
really
made him
can't
fight
complain
for it,
about
at
that.
least. Definitely on that second one.
Yeah, really.
Oh yeah.
Um,
And then
so-
I guess really the main question: did you enjoy yourself? Did you have a good time?
Yeah, I did. I definitely had a great time. I think it was just the ability to, I wouldn't necessarily say prove myself, even though kind of what I was doing, but I wanted to be able to, get myself out there and just say that, hey, I'm a strong enough expert or EFMer at this game that like I have potential and I can be a wide variety of have a wide variety of the field. I kind of do think I should have maybe thrown some more tricks out of my bag, but I kind of wanted to have fun with the game as well, just because that's why I structured my bomb that way. Was just because I wanted to have some solos on there. I wanted to have some fun modules like bartending, and I wanted to have some tricky stuff that not many people do, like Turtle Robot. But unfortunately, that got vetoed.
Yeah. That. Did you? There's one round I think when you got to sneak a single turtle robot in, if I remember right.
I think it was Ghost Salt's round, if I remember correctly. I believe.
Sounds correct. But yeah,
Yeah.
that one got nuked out of history pretty hard.
Yeah, unfortunately, but still.
But hey.
But yeah, they definitely a good fight given for me, I think, and definitely a very good competition between Espic and Procyon. I'm very excited to see how this goes, and I definitely wish them best of luck in the future. That was very fun to be up against them, and yeah, good luck with everything. That's all I got to say.
Last question then before I let you go and we wrap up.
Yep.
Of the two, who do you think is going to take it?
It's gonna be
That's
tough.
a
It's
tough
gonna be a
question.
really tough decision, honestly, because I know that there are some weaknesses with each expert. We have Procyon, the math magician, and we have Espic, who's just a really fast and consistent expert at everything. So I think it's ultimately going to come down to between their weaknesses, because I know that Procyon personally has some difficulties with dealing with X-Ray. X-Ray, it's been a very obvious thing that we've seen throughout this competition, and I know that he's probably got a lot better at it, so I have no doubts in that. But anything is possible that can happen. But as of right now, I'm leaning towards Espic because he's always had that just that surprise that he's always got something to pull out of his sleeve or whatever. And I'm excited to see how it goes, but right now I'm leaning towards Espic taking the win.
I can see that. I could see it going both ways.
Yeah.
Well, with you out, they'll have to worry about not next week now.
Oh yeah, that is true.
So I see Procyon already looking for a replacement for you.
Keeping
Or-
the
or s-
namesake, but dropping the mascot. Oh my. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, it was either if I went on to the if I was facing Espic, I would have had to face Password Destroyer, which would have been fun.
Ooh.
So it was either that or Not, and I said, nah, I'm not dealing with Not, because when I learned it, I struck like 50 times on it, and I still I despise it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've tried to learn that one. It's a tough one.
Yeah,
It can
and
be
like
it can be quite the task to keep up with exactly what it's saying, especially when you get like up to 3 knots in a row. It's like, is that a yes or a no?
I can do logic fast, but not that fast.
Yeah,
So,
it's like maybe what 5-ish seconds if it's
yeah,
mimicking
I
the
think
game
so.
right.
And like you can get lucky or unlucky with the amount of steps, and you have to do it 10 times, which is honest to God
Oh,
ridiculous.
yeah, not in voice would be very difficult.
At that point, I just say implement tweaks, just because like, why bother?
Yeah.
So what I'm hearing is you don't want to see that on the staff picks next time.
No, God, are you kidding me? That's a hard veto, hard veto right there.
All right. If we do have another season, which we're in talks of probably doing, probably come February. Interested in giving it another go next time?
Of course. I'm probably gonna bring out some more niche stuff from my list. I have a lot of modules that not many people are fond of. I think that's also kind of why I make a lot of tutorials, is just because I had an interest of learning all of these modules that no one's ever really heard of and whatnot. So I'm thinking of maybe bringing out some of those, but still trying to keep it fun at the same time.
That's
So
key. That's key.
yeah. I didn't want to
I know
be,
that's
cruel like Procyon was, but then again, that is his way with his list. He's definitely a mathematician at heart, so
I know that's what I like about some of these competitions like this. It gives you a reason to play modules that you wouldn't otherwise play. Kind of in the same right as like some challenge bombs, but even then you still see largely what that person prefers and not really how it affects certain things when placed along other modules,
I just don't want to be up
But
against Procyon, because he's just gonna he's already telling me that he's just gonna bring all the cipher variants with him in the next league, and I'm like, that's why.
I know it was after the league started, but I do know for the team side of things, I did toss around the idea, like it would have been really funny if somebody just brought in as many of like the colored squares or the colored switches variants as they could, just because they wanted to add that in as like, okay, we need to figure out which one is which. I thought that would have
And the
been
nice
really
thing about the
interesting to
colored
have in
squares
this.
variant, the nice thing about the colored squares variants is that a lot of them are pretty easy to figure out. So it would actually not be that bad to have them all added to the
Yeah,
league. I think
Same
there's
thing with
only
the colored
one
like
colored
switches.
squares.
Same thing with the colored
yeah, like
switches. Like, they're very differentiable from one another. Multicolored has the one with the cycling lights at the bottom and a little LED. Uncolored is, well, uncolored. Colored is colored.
yeah.
And what's the other one that I'm forgetting? Or maybe there's another one that I'm not forgetting. I don't know. But most of them are pretty differentiable from one another.
Yeah.
I just think it would have been very interesting to have that extra step that they have to go through to make sure that they have the right module before they can start working on it.
Yeah.
Yep. Alrighty. Well, I think that's going to wrap us up for now. We'll actually see you back next week for the little showcase 4-way in teams. You all, LFA, We Need, and Pines. One last little hurrah for the team group.
Sure thing. I'm excited to be there.
And you'll surely see me again, and very possibly Rock Dude and or River as well. But for now, I think that's it. Fellow commentators, anything you want to say as we part?
Only thing I can think of is don't get too complacent with your own modules. I know it tripped up my team for a little bit because most of the bombs we failed pretty bad were actually the ones where we had advantage. So just because you got them this time, make sure you stay on top of it because they come around and get you sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
They do. And remember to stay crazy, stay cool.
Hey, there it is.
Yep.
Excellent. Excellent ending note.
Mhm.
All right. We will see you all next week for the EFM finals and the teams showcase in some order, not currently determined. But anyway, till then, we'll see you. Bye, guys.